Hola amigos, welcome back to the channel. In this video I am going to tell you about capacitors, what is a capacitor, how it works, what shapes and sizes it comes in, etc. etc. With that said, what's up guys, Nerdy here, and without any further ado, let's get started with the video. What is a capacitor? A device used to store an electrical charge. Now some people ask that a cell or a battery also stores charge, so is it also a capacitor? Of course not. The difference between a capacitor and battery is that the capacitor stores charge and discharges it immediately, whereas the cell or battery releases the charge slowly, and they don't give shock as they don't give sudden discharge. For example, here we have a single phase motor, and as you can see, here we have a capacitor which gives a kick to the coil and the motor starts rotating. Same in this motor also. The capacitor we used in this motor looks like this. How it stores charge. See this photo? These two electrodes are made of aluminum. That is why we call this capacitor aluminum electrolytic capacitor. One plate stores the positive charge and the other plate stores the negative charge. And in between the plates is the dielectric chemical. This is how the plates and the chemicals are fitted inside a capacitor. Difference between the capacitor and battery. Both of them store electrical energy. Batteries store charge in chemical. Capacitors store charge in electrical plates inside. Long-time charge storage, short-time charge storage, used in circuit to provide long-term energy, used in circuits to provide short-term energy. Types of capacitors: electrostatic capacitor, electrolytic capacitor. Electrostatic capacitors are capacitors which are non-polarized, which means they don't have a negative or positive terminal. Whereas electrolytic capacitors are also called polarized capacitor because they have a positive and a negative terminal. We have two types of capacitors in electrostatic: ceramic disc and metal film. These look like this and store less charge, and these look like this and store more charge than the ceramic disc. Electrolytics come in two types: aluminum and tantalum. These look like this. There are two types in electrolytic: leaded and SMD. There are three types in leaded: radial, axial and snap-in. Radial means like this, axial like this, and snap-in like this. There are three types in SMD or SMT: cylindrical, horizontal can type, SMD flat chip. Cylindrical, horizontal, flat chip. Capacitor circuit. First, series circuit. When we connect a capacitor in parallel to a DC voltage, it stores charge and in high capacity. Now in high voltages, we use capacitors in series, but now what happens is that it does not store the same amount of charge. But what actually happens is it stores only half the charge. Because the more gap between the insulator and plates, the less charge it stores. Now if we use three capacitors in series for higher voltages, the less charge it will store because now the gap is even more. Parallel circuit. Here we will have double charge because two capacitors are in parallel. Here we will have triple the charge because we are using three capacitors in parallel for higher charge storage. How to test a capacitor using a multimeter? So first we set the meter to diode. First we check like this, the negative in the negative, the positive in the positive. Now it should fully charge, then show oil. Now we will reverse the terminals and see. It should fully discharge, then recharge full, then show oil. This is one way to check the capacitor. The other is in the capacitance mode in a meter. Now we press this button and it should go into capacitance mode. Then we will check the value. the negative in the negative, the positive in the positive, and make sure the capacitor is discharged before testing, or you can damage the meter. See, here we have got the value. This is a 4700 microfarad capacitor and it is showing the value. Capacitor unit. Farad is the unit of measuring the capacitor. And here is the chart. Farad, millifarad, microfarad, nanofarad and picofarad. These are the values of a capacitor. Just like we measure other things, for example 1 kg, 500 gram, milligram, etc. That is the way capacitor is also measured. 1 farad, it is the highest value. To get millifarad, we add 1000 to the value, that is 12 millifarad. For microfarad, we need to add 6 zeros. For nanofarad, we need to add 9 zeros. And for picofarad, we need to add 12 zeros. Here are some sample images. How to read the value of a disc capacitor. See this, the number is 472K. The first and the second digit is to be written as it is. The third is the number of zeros as per the number. So here it is 472. So 2 zeros. That is 4700 PF. So the fourth digit is tolerance. Here we have the chart. All the values are given. So we have K and K is 10%. That is 4700 PF with 10% tolerance. Polypropylene capacitor or profiling capacitor. These can be used for high power and frequency. For example in induction heaters, etc. So guys, that's all for today. See you in my next video. If you are new, don't forget to subscribe and like. And don't forget to ring the bell icon for faster notifications so you don't miss out on any videos. Take care guys. Adios amigos.